What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Bull Combo. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It's been another week in the Metaverse, and that means we have another week's worth of Metaverse news to get to. So we're going to jump right into that. But before we get started, a quick note, if you guys like blockchain-style gaming videos, if you like Metaverse or virtual land-style conversations, definitely recommend checking out the channel, guys, checking out some of my other videos. And if you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up, and if you like the content, consider subscribing here and hitting that bell to get notified when I post new stuff. So let's jump right into this week's Metaverse Weekly Update. So we're going to kick things off with Earth2. We haven't had a ton of movement since my last update, but there was a few updates this week that were worthy of noting. First off, CEO Shane Isaac did change his Twitter header to an image that looks like it could be hinting at some of the new features coming out within the Earth2 platform. Additionally, he tweeted that at this time, the team have been monitoring and fixing issues related to the React update. It looks like they have 13 of 16 issues resolved and deployed. And based off of the positive progress they've seen with React, they're aiming to release another Phase 2 feature, plus some additional core platform improvements, including automated KYC as early as next week. We don't really know what those features are going to entail aside from automatic KYC, or otherwise known as Know Your Customer. Sounds like it'll make the Know Your Customer steps a little bit more quick and straightforward. I think that'll be welcome for sure. I'm really interested to see what other features they roll out or plan to release. I have a feeling this image that Shane shared has something to do with that. The image definitely looks like it could be a reference to hollow buildings, something that the team's been referencing in recent updates. And while I think the models themselves are a little underwhelming based off what I initially saw from that image, there could be a lot of underlying functionality tied to them that could make the gameplay a little bit more enjoyable or give it a little bit more depth. So I'm optimistic here. I'm just going to hang tight and see what they announce next. I know this is some exciting stuff, but the Earth2 team has unfortunately pushed back several timelines related to previous announcements and previous release updates. So all we can do is really just hang tight and see what the next update holds for us, and hopefully it's something substantial. Week 4 of the Summer Jam land sale has been completed on the Sandbox, and as usual, all the lands sold out in less than a minute. The land sale returned to a little bit more normal size this time. I believe there was around 800 lands for sale, as well as some premium lands and some estates. To add to the craziness of the land sale itself, one of the estate auctions on OpenSea actually ended up going for $280,000 US. That's quite a bit of money for a 12 by 12 estate, not even the largest estate you can get inside of the Sandbox. Previously, we've seen 24 by 24 estates go for as high as $600,000 plus. So just this level of money going into a estate of that size shows the value that brands are seeing in this product, and I think it's really cool to see companies and brands coming together to try to bring their presence into this platform, and I think there's going to be some pretty big things coming in the future here. So the Sandbox Game Jam Award ceremony is going to be held this Saturday at 6 p.m. UTC. That's tomorrow for anyone that's watching the video today on release day of Friday. They're going to be announcing the winners of the Game Jam competition and playing the top 10 entries. I already watched a preview of some of those games that they posted on YouTube, and those entries look very impressive, so I'm really curious to see who they choose as the winner, and I'm excited to see them play through some of those entries. The Pool Party Voxel Edit Contest and the 1-week Land Build Challenge also wrapped up earlier this week. We'll have to wait a little bit before we know the results of that, but a lot of those entries were phenomenal, so I'm really curious to see who ends up winning that. Best of luck to everyone that was entered there, and I think overall it's really just cool to see the Sandbox creating so many of these community-based events, giving community members, users, creators the chance to have an input in the creation of the platform at a very fundamental level. I think that's really cool. And I hope to see more platforms and more Metaverse platforms like that encouraging this type of engagement, encouraging these types of events. And I think we're going to see more of this occur as more Metaverses burst onto the scene. And as I start covering them, I think you'll see that there really are quite a few Metaverses right now that are doing a lot of really unique and different things. So just another cool example. Kudos to the Sandbox. Can't wait to see what comes out next week. So it doesn't seem like the VeVe news has been slowing down at all recently. They recently announced their Marvel partnership. Before that, they announced the Comic-Con partnership and exclusive VeVe NFTs that'll be released then. This week, we got a preview of the Showroom 2.0. There was a couple quotes in the article related to Showroom 2.0 that I thought were particularly interesting, and I wanted to cover those here. The first quote was regarding some of the more initial features we might see, and it says that we'll continue to develop showroom accessories so that you can customize the space with structural elements like partition walls, shelving, plinths, stands, etc., and choose from a huge library of interior details like furniture and houseplants. They went on to say that in future versions, you'll also be able to expand on the space with additional rooms, branded themed content and elements, and maybe even entirely new buildings and environments. Very cool stuff here, guys. It's obvious that they're moving toward what they've been referring to as the VeVe-verse, or an actual metaverse that contains these NFTs and brings a little bit more substance and utility to these NFTs. Really curious to see how that shakes out. Also this week for VeVe, we have the Ecto-1 drop. Now guys, remember, this is a little bit different from previous drops that happened on Thursday mornings. This one's not happening till tomorrow, so it's going to be happening on Saturday morning. You're going to get your chance to score the Ecto-1 vehicle from Ghostbusters. It's going to be very limited edition. I'm sure it's going to be hotly contested, and it's probably going to sell out in a couple seconds, as has been the case with most VeVe drops, so just be prepared for that. But also be prepared for some changes with this week's sale. They've implemented a few quality of life improvements during the sale process to make things a little bit safer for users and a little bit more efficient and fair for users. So this week, when you go to the drop, you're going to notice that the Buy Now button is available even before the drop. So the way it's going to work is the Buy Now button is going to be there, and at drop time, you'll just be able to click Buy Now and proceed with the transactions. Now, be careful not to click it early, because then you'll get an error and you'll have to close the error and go back and click the Buy Now button again. And as you guys know, anyone that's familiar with VeVe knows, that could cost precious seconds, and when it comes to a VeVe drop, every second counts. So don't hit the button early, guys. On top of that, also expect there to be a CAPTCHA prior to you confirming your purchase. The CAPTCHA's in there to prevent bots from making purchases, to prevent botting from becoming an issue in these drops. So I know botting is something that people complain about in a lot of NFT drops. Whether or not it's actually a culprit of the issues is up for discussion, but nevertheless, it's cool to see them taking it seriously enough to implement a CAPTCHA, provide that peace of mind to their user base, and make the buying experience a little bit more robust. A couple notes on Decentraland this week. First off, last weekend was Decentraland's first inaugural music festival. The To the Moon Music Festival was held within the Decentraland Metaverse last week with several musical artists, and while the attendance was a little bit lower than expected, it sounds like everyone had a pretty good time. Decentraland is also in the middle of their Art Week, where they're taking time to highlight art and different artists that are involved within the Decentraland platform, within the Decentraland metaverse. I think this is a really cool concept, highlighting some of the art projects that are being hosted and utilizing their platform to display said art. I think that's very cool. We've already seen this on other metaverse platforms as well, but it's cool to see Decentraland embracing the artists and highlighting those in a special event like this. South Korea's top telco, SK Telecom, has launched a metaverse virtual environment aimed at the MZ generation. Ifland offers users the chance to visit 18 different types of virtual spaces, including conference halls, outdoor stages, and rooftops, all of which can hold 130 participants. Users are promised the choice of a variety of virtual avatars, customizable with 800 different virtual items, including costumes, hairstyles, and so on. Avatars will also be able to display their feelings with 66 different emotional expressions to engage in rich communication with others, with lots more information to be added soon. Guys, this is a brand new metaverse, and we don't know much information about it aside from the information we see in this trailer and the information that was released in the press release. Because it's such a new platform, we're probably going to have to keep following it, to keep an eye on it, to see where it progresses. It seems like it's a bit of a different take on the metaverse, with a limited number of areas and a limited number of participants available to enter those specific areas. This might be a byproduct of some of the player count limitations that we're seeing on larger platforms as they work to achieve this larger metaverse. Nevertheless, it's really cool to see another metaverse player in the space, this time from Korea. I imagine we're going to see more and more of these, like I said, and it feels like every single week we're covering a new metaverse or two new metaverses that are coming out. We can just add Ifland to the list, and I imagine we'll be covering it again here in the very near future. Bit.Country. So some of you might not be familiar with Bit.Country, but it's basically a platform that allows people to create their own metaverse. And they just announced recently that they're creating a Metaverse Career Academy. It's a first of its kind project dedicated to training individuals on understanding Web 3.0, the metaverse, how they can take advantage of the metaverse, and how they can work within the metaverse. I think this is a very cool concept, guys, and I think it's just the start of careers that we're going to see launch completely in the metaverse. There's going to be a whole new world of careers that are needed for these metaverse platforms. And I think it's really cool to see Bit.Country getting on it, getting off to an early start, getting people prepared for what the metaverse is, and really just creating a whole new group or wave of individuals that are metaverse ready and ready to jump in and take on that next challenge. Very cool stuff here. Can't wait to see what other types of educational opportunities we have when it comes to metaverses here in the near future. So the last update I had today, guys, was regarding Somnium Space. Somnium Space just signed a partnership deal with Tesla Suit. For those that don't know what Tesla Suit is a haptic feedback suit. It's actually not too dissimilar from the suit that was worn in Ready Player One. It also functions as a motion tracker that can relay real-time body movements to a player avatar within the platform. So with the partnership, Tesla Suit will basically be bringing the first 5 sensorial experiences to Somnium. And those experiences include rain, touch, shooting, music, and full body tracking. So it's very cool to see that these full body haptic suits not only exist, but are starting to be integrated into metaverses. This is probably one of the most Ready Player One-like things I've seen happening within metaverses recently. So very cool stuff here. I have a feeling that these haptic feedback suits are going to be very large in the future and probably will integrate with multiple metaverses, if not all of the large metaverses once they're off the ground. But the fact that technology is there, the fact that they're partnering with an actual metaverse platform just shows that the potential's here. And the reality is this type of stuff is now. It's not something that's going to happen in the very near future. It's happening right now. So it almost seems like, again, every week this tech is accelerating. We're seeing a new partnership, a new integration between 2 platforms that not only is beneficial to both, but just really makes sense within the space. And I think we're going to see more and more partnerships like this, more and more cool tech coming out that integrates at a metaverse level. I can't wait to try one of these haptic feedback suits. I bet it's going to be insane, and I just can't wait to see what other kinds of tech come out that we're going to be able to wear and interact with and engage with metaverses with. All right, guys, that was everything I had for this week. Quite a few things to get through this week, including some new stuff, which I thought was very, very cool. Obviously, the metaverse is progressing at like a breakneck speed right now. So if you guys want to make sure to stay up on everything happening in the metaverse on a weekly basis, make sure to come back every week and check out this video. It will be posted every Friday, and I will do my best to bring you guys everything I can in one clear and concise way on what's going on in the metaverse. So aside from that, guys, I want to thank you for checking out this video. I hope you have a fantastic day, an excellent weekend, and until next time, we'll see you soon.